We have breaking news. Let's get right to it.
Past 24 hours, we've seen 34 new cases of COVID-19 here in Utah.
Following breaking news out of Utah, a magnitude 5.7 earthquake hitting just after 7 a.m. local time, about 10 miles west of Salt Lake City.
We need 100 to 150,000 tests a day.
Welcome back to Iso20 Podcast. A podcast to get you through your quarantine, to get you through your isolation, to get you through your day. A podcast that I am happy to be here doing with you. Thank you so much for clicking play. No matter the platform that you are looking or are listening on. Shout out to the YouTube gang. I hope everybody's having the day that they deserve. I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope everybody is doing things that they want to do and all that good stuff. I love what I've been seeing lately, just like on social media and everything, the awareness of injustice, the awareness of wanting to spread positivity as well. I've been seeing a lot of good that I have decided to take in rather than the bad, and the bad being the things that we've seen, the things that bring you down, I guess, the things that don't brighten your day. Those are the things that I've been shutting out. So it's been feeling good. I've been feeling great. Thank you to everyone that came out to a bar named Sue, both Highland and State. I had the opportunity to play at both places over the weekend, so that was great. I always enjoy DJing there. State's home base, so it's always a good time. It was my birthday. That was awesome. I had my birthday on Saturday, and it's a bummer that my birthday lands on 2020, that the way that things have been going, and the need to quarantine and really stay away from people, I guess, because I told my lady last birthday, I was like, this birthday I want to have a mariachi band. I want to kind of do it big, quote unquote, do it big, and I wasn't able to, obviously, just because of the current climate of the world, but they still made it special. They still woke me up, and my son, he got me a cake. He was so happy about it. He got me a soccer cake. It was like a soccer ball, and it was good cake. It was good cake and ice cream, and like I have to mention to you guys, I don't really eat that stuff anymore, and so having the opportunity to have cake and ice cream, it made my day. Yeah, it's so sad to think about that. Cake and ice cream make my day now, when it never really did. But since I'm watching what I'm eating, that's something that I do look forward to. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else happened over the weekend. So Saturday I go to work, and Saturday I wake up, right, and my family comes into the bedroom, and they wake me up and everything like that. And my oldest son, his face was it looked swollen. It just looked bigger than normal, and I was like, does his face look swollen? And my lady was like, yeah. And so my son he was complaining about his throat hurting and whatnot, and so give him some Benadryl, just kind of watching it, because he has allergies. He might have been allergic to something, or something like that. So later in the day, I go to Sioux State, because I had to work, right? And then later on in the day, my lady, she calls or she texts me. She's like, hey, I'm gonna take him into the ER because he's complaining about his throat hurting and whatnot. And so the first thing I think is, and does he have strep? Because that's usually what it is in kids and stuff like that. And so she takes him down to the hospital, to the ER, and they treat him. They don't even test him for strep. They just automatically treat him for strep, and they obviously, with it being a sore throat, they test him for COVID, and they say he handled it like a champ. The tube up the nose and everything like that, and ended up handling it like a champ, and they treated him for the strep and gave him some antibiotics and stuff. And today is Monday, and he's feeling a lot better. He has energy. He's on his antibiotics. Obviously, he's quarantined, right? So he's isolated. We kind of have him in bedroom by himself, and we keep him away from Amari. We don't really touch him or anything like that, other than to do the normal stuff like bathe him and stuff like that, but no cuddles or anything like that. And constantly washing his hands, hydrate, all that good stuff, and hoping, fingers crossed that he doesn't have COVID. But if he does, then we handle that. We hurdle that hurdle as as that news comes, if it ever does. The nurse and the clinical staff over at the ER said that we should have our results back within 2 to 5 days. Originally it was 3 days is usually what it would take, but because of the abundance of tests that they're getting and people are having, our results are now about 5 days. So we should find out possibly tomorrow or Wednesday, and we'll find out if he has it. And if he does have it, then obviously everybody else in the house needs to get tested. But I called yesterday, Sunday, and I called I did some Googling. I was like, well, I should probably get tested because, with my son having it, I want to get tested. And so I checked online and did some Googles and whatnot, and found a testing site around my neighborhood, and they were testing on Sunday. So I went and got tested. Now I figured, because if you're aware of testing in your own city, if they're doing tent sites, right? So you just pull up and get tested that way. If you're familiar with that, that's what I did. And so while I was sitting there, I was like, this is a good time to get my thoughts out. And so I whipped out my phone and recorded some audio. So let's go ahead and let's cut to that audio.
All right. Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you're having the day you deserve. It is currently 12:36 on Sunday, June the 28th, the day after my birthday. And I am sitting in the Intermountain Tosh Medical Tower Center parking lot in line, about to get my COVID test. This is, like they say in the news, it's unprecedented times. Before you get all worried and concerned, I feel fine. I feel great, actually. The reason why I'm here getting tested is because my son actually woke up on Saturday and had he had a swollen face, and his throat looked a little bit swollen, and he was complaining about his throat hurting. So we give him cough drops, we give him hydration stuff and Tylenol and things like that, just thinking that maybe he just is having allergies or something, right? And so the day goes on Saturday, he's just not feeling any better. So my lady took him into the emergency room, and the emergency room, they tested him for they not tested, but they treated him for strep. And nope. Okay, so the lady didn't come over to me, rather she went to the car next to me. I thought she was coming here. Sorry, I forgot where I was. But my son, so he got treated for strep. He got the COVID test as well through the nostril, handled it like a champ, my lady said. I just felt like it was appropriate for me to get this test done, and in quarantine for the next 14 days after getting this test. I guess the good sign is that if I do have it, my symptoms aren't really bad. So I don't know if they're going to get worse or if I'm going to have any symptoms or kind of what happens now. And I don't think a lot of people really know. But yeah, I figured that this would be a part of the podcast. And I wanted to capture my thoughts on kind of what's going on right now. And it's really weird because once you hear about COVID, like, I'm not scared. It's not a scary thing, but it is a thing where, you know, I start to think, like, if I just even cough a little bit, or if I even feel a little bit of a tickle in my throat, I'm like, oh shit, is this it? Is this how we're gonna start this? And so it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. I don't know if this is how it was with what's it called? AIDS, right? With the HIV test and stuff like that. But it definitely you almost feel shame for coming and doing this. But I feel like we need to change that narrative of people being shamed to get tested and people, you know, taking it serious and things like that. Because it is a serious disease. Maybe not even for a virus, maybe not even for yourself, but for people around you, you know, and my family. So we'll see what happens. From what I've read, after I get this test done, I have to quarantine for 14 days, and I should be getting my results back within 3 to 5 days. They don't call you with results. Rather, they will call you if you tested positive. So if I don't hear back within 5 days, then I am negative. But I don't really like that, because who's to say that, you know, papers are being shuffled the correct way and things like that. So I'm definitely going to try to follow up. I should have result. If I get any type of labs, I think you can get the results on My Health online, which is an Intermountain app. If you live outside of Utah, maybe Kaiser Permanente or a Sutter Health or Regents or anything like that, they should all have this type of app for healthcare. So I'm pretty sure I can get my results there. But yeah, in this parking lot, it's kind of bizarre because you pull up and you call this number and tell them that you're here, and then they get your information. This truck is backing up, and oh, it looked like he was gonna hit me. The wind is blowing crazy right now, and the signs are falling down, and the security guard looks like he's having a hard time. Oh, he's pissed. Like he's throwing stuff. It's kind of bizarre. But yeah, so you pull up. Sorry, to give you guys kind of give you guys some body to what I'm explaining. We are in the parking lot. You call this number, the contact center then get your information, such as your name, date of birth, phone number, and the make and model of your car. And then that tells the staff that you're here and that your orders are in and everything like that. So they come out and they are wearing like ventilators. They look like something out of Star Trek or something. They have like these helmets on, and they have like a tube going from the top of the head down to like this like all right, guys. Jeez, that was bizarre. Oh my gosh, that sucked. It wasn't that the Q-tip hurt. Oh my gosh, like, oh shoot, that went all the way up into my freaking, oh jeez. Like, my eyes are tearing up right now. Oh shit, how do I get out of this place? Oh jeez. Oh, let me pull over just to get you guys my thoughts without having to worry about wrecking in this parking lot. So I had a friend that tested positive for COVID-19. And so he was telling me about his experience with it. And my son was telling me his experience with getting the test done last night. It didn't hurt. It's just a weird sensation. Let me tell you what. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that sucked. The Q-tip that they were using, like all the videos and stuff that I've seen in the past, they are way thicker than the one that I just had. And the lady that did it, the I don't know if she's a nurse or tech or what she is, but she stuck that thing. She was really quick about it. She was like, she gave me the little brochure. She said she was opening the little sterilizing pack thing. She was like, why are you here? Do you have symptoms? Are you just getting a test or what? And I told her, and she was like, all right, look at me, tilt your head back. And she was like, all right, here we go. And then so she stuck it in, and it was smooth like butter. And then the part that sucked was that she was twisting it. So she was like rotating the Q-tip right and left and right. And she held it in there for 10 seconds while doing that, and then pulled it out, paused, and she was like, all right, our nurse will call you with the result. Our nurse will call you if you tested positive. You need to quarantine until you find out your results. So I guess I just need to, well, not I guess, but what they instructed me is that I need to quarantine for until I get my results back, or until I hear back. If I hear back, that means I got it, right? It means I tested positive. And then from there, I get more information as far as quarantining while being positive. So yeah, that was my experience. That was not fun. That was not pleasant. Now I need to call my lady, let her know that I'm done. And then it's off back home to isolate, to quarantine. Isolation 20, right? All right. I guess let's jump back into the pod.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how it went. Yeah. It was pretty intense. Not super intense, but just something that I don't find pleasure in. I would never want to do that ever again. But yeah. So we'll see what happens when, if I get the phone call or my test results on the app. By the way, if you are in Utah, if you are a Utah resident, I don't think Intermountain is in any other states. They might be in Idaho or Wyoming, maybe the surrounding states of Utah. But if you are a Intermountain patient and you do not have the My Health Plus app, definitely go get this app because it is amazing. This is an app that will tell you all your medical history, right? I have all of my previous appointments. It has all my previous notes from my physician. And it also has test results. So you'll get your results in here as well. I didn't know this, but they had, when I got the app and I clicked into it and everything like that, I was looking at my history. And as you know, I had back surgery. So I was going through my notes and stuff, and I didn't realize that I got drug tested for pretty much any paraphernalia, like any opioids, marijuana, cocaine, all that. And by the way, it came back negative, if you were wondering. But yeah, so if you have not gotten the My Health Plus app, definitely go download it. It's free. It's a free app. It's really easy. I had it set up before, but I believe you have to see your doctor at least once before you can get the PIN code to get everything set up, but don't quote me on that. I would recommend it for anybody that is an Intermountain patient, especially if you're getting tested for COVID, because then you would have your results there. Again, if you test negative, they're not going to call you, but if you test positive, then they will call you. But I've also seen, I've read articles of patients not being contacted and letting them know that they've tested positive. So definitely do your due diligence and get this app just in case, And that's another thing too, like this whole COVID thing is that it feels so taboo to say that you tested positive or something. I think that a lot of people, I think we need to change that narrative of, if you do test positive, then it's just something that you handle. It's really not life or death. I mean, you get sick and you handle it. of course there are people dying. People die from diseases and viruses every day, but you know, I just think that we need to have more of a positive outlook on, you know, this whole thing right now. And blaming people and stuff like that, like really disgusting shit. And yeah, we should probably stop that. You know, if I do have it, you know, there's no way to say, oh, I got it from this person or that person, or, you know, because I go to the store, right? I still touch money, right? It could be an airborne thing. There's so much to it. You know, there's so many different articles that I've read that conflict. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it as far as like life goes. Life is really good. I need to throw a huge shout out to the YouTube gang. You guys have been rocking with me so strong. We just passed 215 subscribers. I know that a lot of those are coming from the music video reactions that I've been doing. So thank you if you are somebody that is following this channel because of that. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you. And to the Spotify folks, thank you. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you're listening to this podcast, thank you. Just wanted to kind of show my appreciation. Okay, should we jump into it? You guys ready? I don't think you're ready for this. Here comes the news. All right, in news, Utah voting day is tomorrow. If you're listening to this on the 30th, it is today. You are voting. Please vote. Go out there and vote. If you already set in your ballots, thank you for doing that. You know, this is for the primary election. Again, I'm learning a lot of this, right? I'm not really a voting political type guy, but you know, I feel like this is kind of the time, right? I am definitely voting in our next presidential election. Right now, I'm using this time to gain more knowledge on this whole process, the whole process of choosing a party, the whole process of making sure your ID is up to date, because if it's not, you cannot vote. You know, the whole online thing, this is a new time for everybody. They're accepting voting through drive-thrus now. Like, we've never seen that. You've always seen the long lines of you standing in at the post office or wherever you can get your ballots in. But you know, with COVID, a lot of the voting process has changed, and it may have changed for your area as well. So definitely, you know, take time to learn and to gain knowledge on this whole voting thing. Now there are the naysayers out there, the conspiracy theorists out there that say your vote doesn't even matter. Some people are out there saying that the next president of the United States is already chosen. The next attorney general is already chosen for your state. If that's the case, then let that be the case. But you know, I think that if it's not, and your vote does count and it does matter, then you should do it. You know, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say you should do it. If you're interested into it, you should look into it and learn and get your vote in. I know for my local area, the attorney general, the Republican attorney general, it's looking like it may be Reyes, Sean Reyes, and I believe it's David Levitt. Those two are going at it. I seen one debate, and Levitt just got it from Reyes. Levitt was given a little bit right about taking money from a group that actually got in trouble for, I believe it was treason. But then Sean Reyes was like, oh, by the way, your party actually got donations from this company as well, and just let them have it. And like things like that I find interesting, because you always see the debate back and forth, but they really get nasty. And I think that if you don't really hear both sides, you can really be bought without even knowing like the truth. And not to say that we would know the truth, but I don't know, it's just interesting. So definitely go vote if you are interested in voting. If you're interested in just learning about it, then I highly suggest you doing that as well. Just learning, you know, the voting process, the voting dates, things like that. What else? Oh, the United States. Okay, so let's take a look at COVID totals right now, right? Hot topic, right? Total cases, and I have some notes here. The United States, as of 6:09 Mountain Standard Time today, June 29th, we have 2,638,086 confirmed cases of COVID. We have 128,103 deaths. That's up 410 from yesterday. And we've had 811,095 that have recovered from this illness. Now, I'm going to speak to my Utah folks. So if you are not in the Utah area, I apologize, but this is kind of the local news break. Utah cases, we had 21,100 confirmed. That's 472 increase from yesterday. And we've had a total of 167 deaths. Yesterday alone, we had 11,000. No, that ain't right. Utah County case, or Salt Lake County cases. So this is specific to my county. I believe it's the largest county in Utah. We have 1,011 cases confirmed of COVID-19. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to take in. But, when I was sitting there in that line, I looked around and I was like, it was almost like I was expecting a bigger turnout. Dang, that sounds like I'm in the club or something. But no, it sounded like I was anticipating to wait in the line for at least 3 hours, right? You talk about the DMV, like people waiting in the DMV line for 8 hours, right? With this being a medical thing where they have to confirm, who you are and actually put something in your nose and answer any questions right there. I thought it was going to be a longer process, but it was literally maybe 15 minutes. It wasn't long at all. And so to see there being over 1,000 confirmed cases in my county, and to see how quick and easy it was to get a test, I don't know. It's a little different. But this whole thing is weird because everybody takes it differently. Some people say you need to wear a mask. Some people say that I'm not gonna wear a mask, right? And that's a huge debate, and it's kind of annoying because the people that are like, I'm not gonna wear a mask, what's it gonna hurt to wear a mask? Is it just because you're being told what to do? Is that kind of the reasoning not to do it? I don't know. It's just interesting. Me, I have no problem with it. I think it's kind of cool to wear a mask. It's like, like Sub-Zero or Scorpion or something. What else happened in the news? Oh, yesterday, I'm kind of upset because I haven't been able to watch it. I need to watch the replay. One, because we don't have your normal cable TV. We stream everything. So I think I'm gonna try to stream the BET Awards that just went down over the weekend. I already know who won. I actually have some winners here. I got some notes here. I think I want to jump into Album of the Year right off the bat. Some of the nominees for Album of the Year were Lizzo, Cause I Love You, which that album right there, I didn't think the album had a lot of buzz, but the singles on the album had a lot of buzz actually. And Lizzo was everywhere. Like you could not get away from Lizzo, right? And then The Baby, right? With Kirk. The Baby was another one. Not a lot of people were, it was a highly anticipated album, but not a lot of people were like, yo, that album was fire. A lot of it was the singles, right? And for me personally, I think that album, a lot of the songs on the album sounded the same. And I think The Baby kind of has the same sound on all of his songs. So it was highly anticipated, but not much noise. Her, I used to know her. That album was highly anticipated as well, and I heard a lot of great things about it. It wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed it. Next was Beyonce Homecoming, the live album. If you remember right, this album came with the little documentary as well, the Homecoming documentary on Netflix, which was dope. So, you know, the Beehive always rides with her. So, yeah. And then Fever, Megan Thee Stallion. She really went off. But again, not much noise on that album. Not a lot of people were like, yo, that's it, you know. But the winner of Album of the Year was, who was it? Roddy Ricch. Please excuse me for being antisocial. Roddy Ricch was that guy. I have no complaints about that. I think the Beehive would beg to argue. Let's jump into Best New Artist. No surprise there. Roddy Ricch won that as well. Some nominees were Lil Nas X, which I'm surprised. Well, no, Lil Nas X, he had, was it 2 summers ago he had Old Town? It was 2 summers ago, I think. And then he had Panini to follow up. Pop Smoke, rest in peace. Summer Walker, YMBN Corday. I'm not mad at Roddy Ricch for winning that. I think a couple other artists could have won that, but I'm not mad at it. Best Female Hip Hop Artist, Megan Thee Stallion won that. Some of the nominees were Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, which, are we still rocking with Doja Cat? I don't know. Lizzo and Cardi B. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Best Male Hip Hop Artist. We had Lil Baby, Travis Scott, Roddy Ricch, Drake, and Future, and the Baby actually won that one, and I'm not mad at that either. I think the Baby, or Lil Baby could have won that one. Travis Scott had a good year too though, so I'm not mad at that. Let's see what other categories. Best collaboration. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Let's take a look. Oh, Chris Brown and Drake, No Guidance won that best collaboration. I'm not mad at it. That was a big record. It was big too because, you know, Chris and Drake, they had a little tiff, a little beef going on. So to see that, that's pretty dope. Let's see, viewer's choice. Let's see, what viewer's choice pick? Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and Ty Dolla $ign for Hot Girl Summer. That one over the Baby Bop, Feature, and Drake, Life is Good. Chris Brown, Drake, No Guidance. Roddy Ricch, The Box, and The Weeknd, Heartless. So, all right. Hot Girl Summer definitely was a better record out of those. Let's see. Let's look at maybe one more. Best group. Okay, best group. I don't know who won this one. Let's see. Jack Boys, Earth Gang, City Girls, Griselda, and the winner was the Migos? That's kind of confused. I don't feel like the Migos made more noise than Griselda. I really don't feel that. I don't feel Migos as best group. I think Griselda should have won that. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. I'm not mad at the Migos. I like the Migos, but I just feel like Griselda was that group. I enjoyed their project better. The Birds was dope. Like, I enjoyed that project more, especially with what they're doing singly. I think West Side Gun had, we're talking about best group though. But yeah, I would have went with Griselda. Okay, I think that's it about news. I mean, there's obviously Donald Trump news, but I don't really want to get into him. Pause. Okay, should we jump into it? Here comes sports. All right, in sports news, we had on the 27th, right, on my birthday, we had UFC Fight Night. The main event was a lightweight bout between the Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker. I wasn't super excited for this card. I was honestly going for Dan Hooker just because I seen what he did to Felder, and I'm a Felder fan. But you know, that is crazy because every time Felder loses, the guy that beat him ends up losing his next fight. I think it was his last 7, right? The last 7 guys that he lost to end up losing their next fight. And I should have known that, but I was going for Dan Hooker anyway. But Poirier, he went the distance, and it was a battle. It was a straight battle. You can look at Dustin Poirier's face afterwards, and it was not good. Dan Hooker too. But Poirier won. The co-main event was a welterweight belt that I was kind of excited about. It was Mickey Gall versus Mike Perry. Platinum Perry had a really interesting thing happen where he didn't have a cornerman. He had nobody in his corner except for one person. One person was in his corner, and it was his girl. It was his lady. She has no training or no fighting experience. It's not like she is a woman fighter. She is not a woman fighter. In fact, I think she's a model. So totally opposite. Somebody that is never been punched in the face before, most likely. Somebody, well, at least not professionally. Somebody that has not ever wrestled in her day in her life, but he had her in his corner, and he said that it worked. I listened to the post-fight interview, and you know, he was like, you know, it was great because a lot of times the coach and stuff is yelling at you, telling you what to do, and it's like fighters know what to do. Fighters are in there to fight. They're fighting for their lives. They know what to do, and if you don't, maybe you're not the right fighter. And you know, he was like, it was good having my girl in my corner because she seemed to fight from a different way of thinking, a different light, a different view, right? And I don't know if he was I don't know if it was because he didn't have a cornerman in his corner, or if it was just that he just outworked Mickey Gall, because he did. I mean, Perry looked great. The first round, he looked great. You know, his takedowns were really nice. His grappling was really nice. His striking wasn't all the way there. I felt like he wasn't connecting with Gall at all. I mean, he was throwing a lot of shots that you don't usually see him take, or if he does, he's actually connecting. But yeah, it was a cool fight. I don't know what Perry's gonna do next. I know he said that he wants to work with Yoel Romero, which, I mean, Yoel got great wrestling, and he's explosive. I could see him working well with Mike Perry, but it'll be weird to see just one cornerman in his corner. Like, typically you have your wrestling coach, you have your boxing coach, you have your striking coach, you have your jiu-jitsu coach, right? All in there, and they're giving you tips, right? Like if your jiu-jitsu is not there, your jiu-jitsu coach is like, yo, you can do this, you can find this, you know, or your striking coach, yo, hit him with the overhand right at this point because he's ducking left, right? Whatever that looks like, and Yoel Romero would be an interesting one to have in your corner just because his English is so broken. And I know Mike Perry, well, I don't know, but I'm assuming that he doesn't know Spanish. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Me personally, I wouldn't want Yoel in my corner for anything other than support, as far as like, yo, come on. Like, get in there and do it, you know? But if he's telling me something, I'm not going to know what he's saying. I'm just going to be so off. Like, I'll be so off. We had the heavyweight fight. It was, I don't even know these guys. Maurice Green and Valente. Guyon Valente. I'm not familiar with these guys, but Green came through with the win. Yeah, the rest of the fights I wasn't really too impressed with. I'm more interested in Fight Island for UFC 251. For those of you that don't know, this will be done in Abu Dhabi, and the UFC actually just released a picture of Fight Island, and there was rumors that the octagon will be on the beach, on the island, and we got confirmation that it is. They have the damn octagon right on the beach. So we're talking. I hope there's no sand. I hope there's no wind, because if the sand is in there, that's gonna make for a tough fight if they even have it. And I wonder if that's something that they've anticipated. I wonder is Abu Dhabi even dusty? I would assume so, right? I don't know, but I'm excited about that. Especially like the look, the aesthetics behind that, just fighting on the beach. It looks so dope, and it sounds so dope. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the NBA announced that your homeboy J.R. Smith finalized the deal with the Lakers. So maybe this is LeBron's way of throwing him a bone, saying, "Yo, what happened in Cleveland, right? Because they could have beat the Warriors, but your man J.R. Smith didn't. He didn't pass the rock up, and he thought there was more time on the shot, or on the game clock. Maybe this is his redemption. Maybe LeBron's like, yo, let JR come over here to the Lakers. This is a short season. We're gonna go to Disneyland. Let him get his opportunity to redeem himself. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. But J.R. Smith is going to L.A. Really going to Disney World, going to Florida to play for the Lakers, and we'll see what happens there. With it being a short season, I think this is a great pickup for the Lakers. J.R. Smith recently threw out some training videos of him doing some shooting around, and JR he has a shot. His shot's looking wet right now. So I think it's a great pickup for the Lakers. I think that, if there are other free agents out there that teams right now, I think they need shooters. And I think bodies and shooters is what's gonna win. When I say bodies, I mean endurance, right? Those guys that can push the endurance, like Westbrook, right? Like LeBron, those guys. I think that's what's going to be the key for this short run, right? The rest of the season. The NBA did release the rest of the season out. So July 30th is going to be the start of and I got some notes here, is going to be the start of the season. The Utah Jazz will be taking on the New Orleans Pelicans on the 30th. And all these games are going to be televised on TNT. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see. But yeah, the Jazz and the Pelicans, and then the LA Clippers are going to be playing the Lakers the same night. So game 1 is the Jazz and the Pelicans, and game 2 is an LA game. It's going to be the Clippers and the Lakers. Great way to start it off. I think these are 4 powerhouses in the West that I think will set this off right. One, the Jazz have the opportunity to set the tone. The Jazz have the opportunity to redeem all the memes, all the trash talk on Rudy Gobert, spreading the corona. The Jazz have a chance to, really Rudy and Donovan Mitchell have the opportunity to shut up the naysayers. There was a lot of people out there saying that the Jazz would not reconnect because of what happened, what went down. And I say what went down in quotes because it's like none of us really knew about a beef between Gobert and Donovan. But, sources are saying that they had a beef after the whole COVID thing. So this gives them an opportunity to say, look, aside from all whatever, we're still a team and we're here to play. So we'll see what happens there. The Jazz have not, to my knowledge, picked up anybody, any free agents. I think Bogdanovic is out. I believe he's out. But the Pelicans, they got Ball. They got your man Zion Williamson will be playing, and that's the body I'm talking about. Somebody like Zion, He has a lot of endurance. He's a power player. He can get up and down the floor quick and just put his body on you. So I really look forward to it, man. I know that there's a lot of things going on right now that say that the NBA would be a distraction, but I really don't see that. Charlamagne had a great point. Muhammad Ali, he wasn't a distraction. A lot of these other sports figures that played during, troubling times where our awareness should be somewhere else. They played, but they didn't take away from it. So I don't see awareness about injustice will be taken away, even though these games are going to be played. And on top of that, rumor has it is that the players or the teams are going to be able to put messages on their jerseys. So I think that's only going to build up more awareness. I think that these post-game interviews will bring more awareness, and I think that these players will have the opportunity to really get a lot of things off their chest that during a time that they need to, right? And I think the NBA has been, especially Silver, like these guys have, the NBA has allowed the players to get their voices, to get their thoughts off, right, and let their voices be heard. And I love it. I think that the NFL can follow suit, because I think what we're about to see isn't gonna be just playing basketball. I think we're gonna see more things happen, and I think we're gonna see more awareness happening. I just hope that everybody's safe, though. These guys are professional athletes. They are in the greatest health. And so I don't have any concerns with COVID, but I just want everybody to be safe, because the last thing we need is for these guys to go back to work and it be bad news, especially in Florida where COVID cases are only rising and they continue to rise. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I look forward to the NBA season. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton has signed a 1-year contract with the New England Patriots. I read a stat that said that this is the first time in NFL history where a franchise has lost an MVP and gained an MVP in the same season. That's wild. So for those of you that don't know, Cam Newton is a Patriot, at least for the 2021 season. What does this mean? I don't know. I don't know if Cam Newton's foot's back to normal. I believe it was he injured his foot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not holding my breath for anything with the Patriots, to be honest with you. I don't know how Belichick and Newton's gonna mesh, but he is an MVP. He is a strong leader. I think that if obviously they think he'll work, and that was Belichick's call. Belichick would not take him if he didn't believe that he can coach him and get him where they need to be. So damn, we'll see what happens there. Yeah. What else has happened in sports? Not really sports news, but I guess it is. Legendary boxer, my favorite boxer of all time, Mike Tyson. He keeps throwing out these little training videos of him either hitting pads or showing somebody else technique. And let me tell you, like, if Mike is really thinking about doing a comeback or taking a match, he's talked about a charity event with a rugby player. He's talked about John Jones, right? There was even talks about Holyfield. There was even talks about a third Holyfield fight, which I would not want to see. A charity thing would be cool, but let me not lie. I would like to see Tyson just get after it, But these training videos have been scary. Like, to see the way he hits, his movement. Mike is a dangerous man to this day. To this day, he's a dangerous man. But I'm not holding my breath for it. I just like to see him doing what he loves, which is getting back into training. And I'm a Mike fan through in and out. I love Mike. So shoot, we'll see what happens there. All right, I think that's about it. I think I'm ready to call it a day. I hope you guys have the day you deserve. Go on to allrock.com. That's ALLRAWK.com for all my content. There's a donation button on there as well. So if you feel so generous to throw me a couple bucks, I appreciate that. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a review on any platform that you're on, that you're listening to. Big shout out to everyone that has supported this podcast and continue to support this podcast. We're literally back to quarantining, so yeah. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully the next one I am in good health. Hopefully you are as well. Okay, until next time, peace.